And then like with my friend group, the folks be like, damn man, you always do right, you got no fucking money. I'm like, God damn, man.
You gotta call me out like that.
You gotta put me out like that. So you know what I'm saying? Even then, I was like, damn man, what I'm gonna do?
I have a really good
So
life.
even like in high school, like a lot of people didn't know it, but I wound up having a job at Balloons and Parties. Like it was a little, like the little inflatable place. Like ninth grade, like I had a job. So that was another reason why I was like, yeah, I got money in my pocket. Fuck y'all, I'm alright. Also, I'm 14, like going to buy $200 shoes every Friday. Gotta get paid.
I actually got 2 more questions.
Hold on, let me get in. When you were growing up, just coming up, did you, as a teacher of color, see many teachers that look like you? I know I can count on, from private school into high school, I only had 3 black teachers. Some of them were female, like one was female, the other 2 were males. But did you see many teachers like yourself?
Color or color?
People of color.
Oh, yeah, I seen growing up. I mean, elementary, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Because we was actually in the same 3rd grade class together.
Yeah, Miss Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
color. Went to 4th grade, I had Mr. Billings. I had,
Mr. Smith? Was it Mr. Smith?
I don't think his last name is Smith. I know he's social studies.
Yeah.
We had him. We had Miss Smith though.
Yeah.
Then got to 5th grade, we had Mr.
Mr.
Handy.
Handy, yeah.
I mean,
That's a blessing.
6th grade, I had
literally
Miss
private school, all
Boy, I used to love it.
white women or white men in private school until I got into public. Till I got to public, like that's when I saw people of color. Like
Yeah. I mean, I literally seen it every year. I think 7th grade. Nope. I think 7th grade was my first year. While I was because I went to Thompson. I had Miss Simmons.
see, good. You can
So I had
actually recall them.
at least one black teacher every year, pretty much in school,
That's a beautiful.
from like 3rd grade up. So I mean, I seen plenty of teachers of color.
No, when I got to Bloomfield Middle School is when I saw people of color in Central. Outside of that, nope. Like everybody was a white woman or a white man. I mean, I'm just saying people of color, because representation matters. It really, really matters, especially to people of color. Like being able to walk up to a teacher as a young boy or as a young woman and say, hey, like they don't have to code switch when they're around you. Like they can talk to you how they need to for them to express themselves, and most times like you don't feel offended because you're like, okay, this is how you feel comfortable talking to me. Whereas they would walk up to a white teacher, female or male, and do the same thing. Like they would have to be a little bit more reserved, have to think about how they want to say it. So just being comfortable in that aspect in school is very, very important to a lot of kids. You don't think about it that way. It's like, I'm going to school, like this is what I do. But it's like being a person of color, and because like, and we thought about it too when we were in school. Like teachers old, like teachers aren't old. Like teachers are not that old. Like you tell them, it's like you tell, they're like, man, 28 or
It's
like,
older than you.
and it's like that's not even like, because when they get to your age, then I'm like, oh dang. Because I think about it too. My teacher was not old. Like I am my teacher's age and got a lot of life to live, like type situation. So that was my statement question.
You got something to say?
What you got, Rob?
Yeah. Y'all ain't gotta call no names, but have you ever had to deal with a bad teacher or a student telling you how bad a teacher was? But I know when I was in school, we literally had a teacher that was just so bad at their job that he got fired because he had a class that teaches everybody about balancing chemical equations. So it's kind of like, it's science, but it's kind of like math. And he never explained how to solve the answer. He just would put the question up, and the question up on the board and tell us to
That's
answer.
my bad experience.
Yeah.
Those type of teachers was my bad experiences. So
I'm like, so it's like, and he would put the questions up there and then just tell us to solve it. But I'm like, so how do we do this? Like, you're not explaining enough. Like, we just chemistry.
Yeah,
And then in the class, nobody turned in anything because we don't know what the hell we're doing because you haven't explained anything.
Bro, would you be a good teacher?
Huh?
Would you be a good teacher?
No, I would not.
I would
I'm not
ask you,
supposed
would y'all
to
have
have
peer-to-peer accountability? Like if a kid is coming to you and be like, man, this so-and-so is not teaching us. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, would y'all like go to the teacher and just be like, hey, hey, this is the feedback I'm receiving from students. Like, not saying that it's true or not, but like, this is what I'm getting.
It depends on how well you know the student
Okay.
as a student in your classroom. Like, cause some students that I get in my classroom don't act like the same student in my class as they do in another teacher's class.
That's true.
So it's all about, a lot of students say a teacher ain't a good teacher, or, oh, they ain't teaching us nothing, simply because they can't have their way.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
don't get my way in here, man. They ain't no good teacher, man.
Right.
Like, they make me put up my phone. Like,
It's like, well,
she's
yeah.
strict. Like, I can't believe she didn't let me cheat on that test. So, you know, it depends on the student. Like, you know, a student is grade A, hey man, that's a great student. They come to you and be like, let's have them, like, so-and-so just ain't cutting it. Like, I'm not there. And you know how they are. Like, as a student, their work ethic behind everything, their grades, their attitude, you know, behavior in class. If you know that about them, then you'll sit there and be like, all right,
Let's see what's
let me
going
see
on.
what's
Right.
going on to see what the disconnect is. But most of the students that truly come up and tell you that this teacher is bad at this and this teacher ain't good at that, man, you can't listen to all that. Because like I said, I had bad experiences, but I never say they were bad teachers. It's just the way that they did things, it didn't connect with me. I didn't understand it that way. I wasn't one of those students that go in and just, I want to teach myself. Hey, if I want to teach myself, I shouldn't even come in here.
Exactly.
Like, I have no point of being in here if I have to teach myself. Like, every day I need to be like,
What you
man,
think?
third period, I'm
Am
gonna
I-
skip that. I'm gonna teach myself.
Like you said, it really just depends on the student. I'm on the elementary level, so
Your kids gonna take whatever you
Right.
Oh,
they
they
ready.
juice and crackers.
right.
They drinking
Which actually leads me into my final
They
question.
like-
before drinking strawberry milk every minute.
As far as because I'm gonna save you for last because by the time they get you, they school shooters. But what do y'all do about bullying in school?
It's typically zero tolerance. Like that's
Yeah,
the
I mean,
thing.
it's a zero tolerance thing.
Because I know a lot of times I see like, kids get picked on, and the teacher will see it and just won't do nothing.
Oh no, that ain't how I operate. 'Cause,
Yeah, nah. 'cause-
I don't really like a whole lot of talking in my class.
Well, you probably be like,
So
quiet.
yeah, you can go hush all that up. I mean, it's pretty much supervision, having them busy. Cause like I said, I do 5th grade. So if they not busy, they gonna find something to get into. So keep them busy, keep them out the way of the people who's messing with them, and save it for when they get home.
That's why I said I had to.
Was you bullied in school?
Who, me? Oh, I used to fight. I fought all the time. Nobody ever fought with me.
for the internet right now. You said
I did. Like you can ask my brother. Shit, I fight all the time.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Like I learned early, like somebody talking smack about you, if you can't crack back, you have to crack them.
See, but look,
So back then, you couldn't crack that.
but look, though, hey,
I was one of those people who had to learn how to crack back on folks because I was always real timid and like kind of a loner. So I used to always just kind of be myself. But I learned, especially hanging out with these fools, I learned how to respond quickly with something with a comeback. Like once they shut the fuck up because you're slaughter their ass, they'll be like, yeah, he just roasted my ass. Let me shut the fuck up. Like, but back then, shoot, I was quick to fight somebody because
I ain't got time to come up with
I ain't got time to come shut
see,
you
look, and I get where he come from, cause we talk shit all the time. I'm talking like, wake up and text and be like, bitch, you ugly as hell. Like, I'm
Like,
for real.
off real.
But I know y'all remember Tevin Perkins?
Yeah.
That's who I got it for. Every time he seen me, that bitch talking shit. Black ass nigga. I'm like, I gotta get on your ass. I gotta start, you know what I'm saying, coming up with shit. But I get where you come from, you know what I'm saying? But,
what was your answer to his? I mean, cause high school is different.
It's
like-
rougher to deal with older kids that are getting picked on.
Everybody talks about zero tolerance, but it's a matter of what do you consider bullying? Is it truly bullying? Is it constant? Is it a
Is
back
it
and
truly bullying
forth?
when you come to school? Where did we get?
I mean, but you'll never know those situations. Like people that bring guns to school, a lot
Exactly.
of people don't know what's going on. You might see it sometimes. You might hear somebody say one thing. It's some people that you say one thing to them, they go off like that. So it ain't bullying is typically something that's constantly happening. That this kid is uncomfortable with this. You don't see the back and forth. You just like this kid is just backing down. Like why do you keep bothering them type of thing? But it's a lot of things that go back and forth, and they like, man, they was bullying me. Like y'all, I
It's like,
say y'all
I
go
heard
back and forth all the time.
You said
Like
something back. Like, what you mean?
y'all be doing this all the time. So when did it become bullying? Like when did you feel like it's now
When you lose
bullying?
it.
Right.
When you
You
start
became
losing.
sensitive.
When they start getting to that sensory, like, oh, it hit home on that joke, huh? Now he's bullying.
But I always feel like a situation like that can come back on you because it's like, oh, they crack on each other all the time. All right, so you know they've been cracking on each other and you didn't do anything to stop it.
There's nothing to do there as a teacher.
What can you do?
Alright,
There's
so I
nothing-
had to.
you
I
can
had to
see your classroom.
That's why I want to know really what my question is like. What can you really do as a teacher to?
Separate them, tell them to be quiet,
Right,
but
that's
that's
it.
about it.
I had an experience like this with somebody we went to school with.
How about it?
I didn't consider it bullying until they folk called me to the office and said, this person said you said this, and this to them, and you gonna do this. I'm like, damn, we telling each other.
That's when it's considered bullying. Though. That
Exactly.
means
Because that person felt threatened
yeah,
for them
they
to
feel
be
threatened.
like,
How many times did they
See,
say
but
something back to you?
but think about it. You done said maybe this same line to about 15 other folk, and it ain't nothing happened. But then I see that. Cause when the folk called me in the office and were like, oh, so and so said you said this, and this, and you gonna do this, and this. I'm like, for real?
Yeah. That's
So
what
I
I'm
was like,
saying.
then them folk put me in ISF for 10 days behind that shit.
yeah.
I was
To
like,
let you know it's serious. Like,
I'm like,
you just gotta know who you talking to. Because if you talking to your group of friends, they probably gonna take it.
that's the
They
problem. I
know.
thought we were friends. I was like, man, I'll just play around.
No.
I didn't think it was that serious, but
Again,
apparently that
as a
person.
teacher, you'll never know.
Right.
Like until they report something, you'll never know. So that's when you know, hey, nah, I gotta stop this. Like
Yeah.
they done said something to me about it in private, or you hear them say, hey man, just
Yeah.
stop talking to me, leave me alone. Like I
Alright,
stop things
so-
like that in class.
And
then
When
that's-
students get back and forth,
Yeah.
and then one be like, hey bro, stop talking to me, just leave me alone. Like, hey,
Hey, exactly,
let that go.
exactly.
Hey,
That was the
whatever it
indicator
is,
that they
let
don't
it
just
go.
let that go. Y'all can have that outside of the classroom, but let that go. Like this ain't happening in here. But you can't really stop it. Like you cannot really stop that from happening because you experience so much of people that think, oh, we just friends, we just talking trash to each other until something happens.
So you strike that
So
nerve, and then it's
They
like,
report it, and you'll be. I mean, it's a lot of people that they get bullied over social media. How can we find out?
exactly. You
But
can't do that.
besides, after they fight, and they be like, well, they posted this and this was said and that was said.
So
It's
you like,
like,
oh Lord.
well, I didn't know. I don't know.
Because one,
media.
exactly, we don't follow each other.
That's why I'm glad social media was really taken out after I graduated high school. Cause I would hate for somebody to run up on me and just punch me and that shit done been recorded by somebody. And I gotta relive that shit every day on the internet. And then somebody in the comments 2 years after it happened. Damn, you got knocked the fuck out.
I mean, the thing about it, I mean, that's after the bullying cases though, but it just be like people just talking about each other on social media. It don't even be no direct ties to it. It's just people just know, hey, this girl don't like me, so she said this about me. Like,
Is it-
how you know that was about you? Your name was on it?
Did she
Nah.
tag you? Did she add you? No.
Nah,
You
but
just feel-
I knew it was about me
I
because
knew
I
it.
was stalking her page. Why would you stalk her page? Y'all don't even like each other.
I feel we're uncovering other issues here.
Yeah, so it's a lot of different things that go behind bullying technically. So it's kind of
So, what do y'all do for the younger kids?
Well, bullying?
Yeah.
Send them to another classroom, separate them, let them cool down. We have a cool down room.
Y'all still
go
put
there.
desks outside the class?
Do y'all, with any bullying cases, do y'all have do y'all ever like call the parents up there and have them do it to y'all?
It really depends on like the severity of it. Like you said, if it's constant, it's ongoing.
Like I know, like me as a parent, if I like caught one of my kids picking on somebody else,
How do I deal with parents?
Just like you deal with anybody else. I mean, they human.
They're
I mean,
fair.
some
sometimes-
parents become they're ready to fight. Like
man, some parents believe everything their kids say until they hear
That's
the other
true,
side
too.
of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So when you call and have parent-teacher conferences and 6 teachers are telling you about your child or how they act in all our
They are
classes,
common
it's
denominator.
crazy that all of us have the same opinion of your child in class. Then all of a sudden you looking at your child like, you told me this happened. Oh, he did, huh? That's crazy. But he should come to my class and go to sleep every day. What you expect him to have? An 8? Nah.
And that
Don't do
shows
no
you
work.
you separate that child from their.
bro, especially with me, 'cause I just finished all the work in the first 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah, but
all right,
stuff like that, you don't call it. Like, they can sleep in class all
Okay,
they want. They
because
do
you
their
did-
thing.
you
Like,
did
why
something
someone so
like
get to do that? He finished. Look at his grades, like.
You finished.
What
Yeah,
are you doing?
105 in class. It's like he can do whatever the hell he wants. He keep it great for every
I
time.
know I ain't never had a 105.
I was talking to
I
like,
remember biology, that bitch gave me a 14.
Do what
I
you do.
said,
Not a 14.
that bitch said, you don't even put your name on the paper.
Exactly. Like, they just graded it
Yeah.
for what it is.
Yeah, don't you get like a 40, 30 something for just showing up to class every day?
No, big dog.
You gotta do work.
Man, I got students with single digits in my class.
Like you
Serious, single digits.
3. Like that.
Single digit?
3.
You don't come? What? You
I'm
don't
talking
come?
about age.
I don't care if you don't come. I don't care if you show up every day and don't do nothing. I'm not putting in no grades for something I'm getting. The only grade I'm putting, 0. You ain't turn this in? 0. You ain't turn,
What is it?
0.
Dojo. And like the parents who are actually like up to date on the dojo, like as soon as you put that grade in, they looking at it, it's like, oh.
That mean say nothing.
Yeah, a lot of
parents that
I
have
don't
students
agree
like
with a
that,
lot of the.
They know that.
I don't agree with a lot of the online work, like especially when they're home, because a lot of the parents don't have access to internet still. Like not every household has internet.
They don't go home and they don't do homework on their Chromebook. The kids get sent home, like, cause I have a nephew who's in he's in middle school. He
No,
goes to Howard Middle School.
Chromebooks don't they
He
have to
come-
have access to like internet, or do they have their own internet?
But when they come, like, most time the kids don't even bring the Chromebook home. Like, he come home with like papers that were ripped out of a book that he got to do at home. So they send the kids home with paper homework, and then I'll help him with it. And it's like, oh, okay, don't lose this before you get back to school because it's paper and kids don't even know how to do none of that. But yeah, it's handouts, and then when they get to school, they use their Chromebook at school. But Cox does offer discounted internet for kids who are low income. Like, it's $10 a month, and your mama spend more than $10 at the liquor store. So
On her house.
yeah, so it's $10 a month.
On
and-
this meal that you ate this Wednesday. At
Exactly,
McDonald's.
at McDonald's. So it's like
So
there's
instead of putting
ways
that meal
now for
on that
kids to
one
have
Wednesday of
it
the
at
month.
home.
It's plenty of options that's out there for them
Right,
to have,
literally.
Resources everywhere.
for them to have internet at home because of how
Yeah, low income.
technology is.
Like, I know I hated homework. I used to have my homework finished before the end of class.
And it's so
You know,
don't
time.
understand. At the first day of school, I'd be like, hey man, I don't give a different paper for homework. Whatever we're doing in class, if you don't finish it, that becomes
It's
your
your homework. Yep.
And I still have students that don't turn in nothing, and they'll be like, what? He gave me this? I'm like, you had all class period to do it.
And at home.
Then you can take it home and finish it and bring it back.
I don't really believe in homework. That's why I make sure I finish everything in class, because I do not want to bring
Hey, you talking about
schoolwork home and have to deal with it.
I
Like,
don't do it either. That's
it's
all
because
that you
people don't understand how much it get piled up. Like if you get, let's say you got homework assignment from every class, that's a lot of homework to do. And then you might have a project that you need to work on too at home. We're like, nah.
You'll be surprised how many students tell me.
All that shit
work,
get
I had work in my science class. I'm like, oh, so my work went important.
It didn't
You
matter.
had work in
Right.
science.
Well, you already got 8 in class. You might as well go ahead and
See, man,
fail.
my thing with homework was I lived down the street from Lenard, and he used to come knock on my window, man, fuck that man, come on outside, we hooping.
And you would
Okay.
Alright. Alright. That's how no fun it is.
Because of the fact
Self-control.
that I wanted to be able to get out and do whatever I wanted to do. I was just like him. I finished everything in school. Once you give me that homework, I go to the next class.
Huh.
As the teacher talking, I be working on my homework in a different class. And it's just, they ask me a question in class, I give them the answer and go right back to
It's
what
like,
I
hey,
was doing.
look, I got stuff to do.
I gotta knock this out. It's gonna be one class that's
So
so
what's the answer to this, Rob? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Shit, I'm doing my homework from my class. I tell the truth.
Oh,
Class laugh. I was like, hey, I told the truth. Shoot, I'm gonna have your homework done by the time I get out my next class.
So my question would be, how long do y'all see yourselves getting into admin? Because like, I figured, but I have a friend who
I
works
see you as
at
a principal.
like DeKalb County, and she's been like, what is it?
I see you like as a counselor.
But like admin, oh yeah, I can definitely see you as a counselor.
You want to be a principal?
He gonna be a principal.
No, but I said that where the money at. Like when you get the admin, you a principal. Like that's where. But again, more money, more responsibilities. You like
Oh, what does the principal do?
Just
the
chilling.
principal
That's
does
the behind the scenes work.
exactly communicate
Make
with the
sure the bills
board.
get paid.
Nah, the board does that. But like principal does like making sure teachers are okay. They gotta report all the score. Like where's your school ranking amongst all the other schools? Like they take on all of that.
So you have to be a teacher to coach.
You don't have to.
You can be a volunteer, but like
I know we're
it's
gonna
basically
lose
a
the
teacher.
Warner Robins again.
Again, I'm not the head man. I'm not the man in charge.
Exactly. There is, you know,
And in
typically
the end,
coaches
no matter
are
who's in charge,
and
we on
teachers
the
are
field.
assistants.
I don't care who you got on your team. You ain't
Make them
playing.
hit the weights before the game.
Again, I don't care what you do. You not playing. So you don't dictate that. You can put people in the right position, but are they gonna really make the plays?
See,
I feel that. I feel
I
that.
like it.
Okay. Any more questions?
We had one football player that brought a gun out on the field.
At school? No, I do. So, just what made y'all choose math? Like,
Where did math choose y'all?
Oh, math was always my favorite subject growing up. So it was either math or I want to teach. No other choice. That's the same reason why I wouldn't go to elementary. Because elementary does more than one subject.
Yeah.
I'm not doing another subject.
I ain't doing math.
I done taught 5th grade math 3 years and didn't teach not another subject until I got to PC, which is special education.
Yeah.
But most of the time when you're in House and County,
You doing everything?
you doing it. You doing a different subject as well as math.
Special ed kid.
See, that's
Inclusion
cool.
kids, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So kids who are on the spectrum in general,
Did you choose to do
Yeah, that's what my master's is in.
that? What made you want to do that?
special education.
For special education. One, to get out the classroom, and 2, that small group setting to see if I can push those kids further than where they are.
That's true. Everybody learns differently. So
You deal with autistic kids?
I had one autistic kid. He was pretty cool. He was good. He was a cool guy. He was actually smart.
A lot of them are smart.
Yeah.
You deal with somebody?
Yeah, you always deal with autistic kids. But
diagnosed and undiagnosed.
you're talking about some that's high on the spectrum, and you got some that's low on the spectrum. So most of the ones that's really high on the spectrum, I won't deal with because I don't have a small group setting. But I mean, there's plenty of people it's more people that's autistic than you even know of. That it's just a piece of it though. Like
That's what make you autistic.
again, you got some that's high on it, and then you got some
It's
that's
a
not.
sliding scale. Like the spectrum is very. I could definitely say like when I was in public school, like I definitely had some people in my class who were autistic. But you know, people think special ed and they think like special needs help with everything. And it's like no, you cannot grasp this common concept that everybody else can grasp. It is not something's wrong with you. You just have a different way of learning. So you probably need to be in a different class. But most time, kids ain't gonna tell their parents. A teacher may pick up on it, and then as soon as you tell the parents, my kid ain't nothing wrong with my kid, it's like it's not your fault. Like a kid just learns differently. So some teachers will literally take the time and like kind of work with that kid specifically to make sure that they move on. But it's like this kid should totally be in a different class to where they can have that one-on-one time. They had it
Yeah,
essential.
I mean, when I was growing up, I ain't gonna lie, I was obviously a kid. I used to think special ed, like we used to have the table hall in Northside, and you had all the special ed classes. We used to always think that was just where the dumb kids went, because they weren't as advanced as those kids. But then I watched this show, and there was this doctor that had autism. I was like, oh, he got autism.
Even when I was young, I wanted to be a special ed. But I thought myself up. Before, like, your grades don't reflect that you need to be in this class. I'm like, but they don't do shit. I want to be enough. Like,
So they don't do that. They just learn differently. They're doing different
nah, hell
things.
no. I got a homeboy right now who is a special ed in middle and high. And that bitch didn't do nothing. I'm like, so I'm out here doing all this work and you get to fucking sleep. I'm in my own class right here. Bro.
I know, nigga. They can't. We see you was in advanced classes. Now you want to be in special ed class. Like,
I wasn't that
that's
far.
not happening. Like,
Yeah, nah, they was not gonna go for that.
I was doing all right in school. I
I
could
was
pass
sitting in
my
advanced
class.
reading
That wasn't the
all the
problem.
years.
That wasn't the problem. I could do what I needed to do. It just, I'm like, it's kind of hard to see somebody sleep right beside you, not doing nothing. Then you got to do all this paperwork, and then be like, well, you got to be in my class. He already fell it. Maybe I need to lower his bill a little bit.
Just the wrong direction altogether.
Right.
Just the wrong
Right.
direction.
Mindset is just
It's
so
crazy.
They got to do more work. But hey, my work ethic like that now. Cause like even with jobs, like I be taking on extra projects and shit like that. And these folk be thinking they can call me anytime they want to. Hey man, so and so they come to work today. You want to do this? I'm like,
yeah, I'm on the way.
I'll be like, why I start doing this shit? Cause like freelance, Man, I was a forklift operator. I was a heavy machinery operator. Package machine operator. Anytime somebody
You
come
do
out,
everything.
man, hey, so they come to work. They
You was even bagging chips because you had your own code on chips.
Right, I was like, man, I was
He
doing
like,
everything.
look up for my legs. If you see this number, I put some chips in that bag.
Them fools-
I used to be looking for them too. I'm like, I got your chip, nigga. I got them. Look.
Hey man, for real, somebody called me from one of my cousins called me from Florida. He said, "Hey, ain't this your number?" I got your check out for shit. My chips from Florida.
It's like, dang, like your chips worldwide. Like I'm looking for, like, oh, I found
Shit.
it.
I
Nah.
used to get sometimes white people numbers from when I used to drive forklifts. They used to come, hey man,
You want to come in and work?
You
nigga?
want to work for me for a while? I'm like,
Hell no. You do it one time, them folks want to call you every 5 minutes.
Man, when you dependable, why not
I
call?
charge everybody.
I mean, I get it,
Dependable.
but you see what I'm saying though? Like they just like now,
Yeah, you
like
want it.
if I be done did some extra shit for anybody, and like I don't mind going above and beyond. But it's when you feel like you can call me every 5 seconds and be like, hey, I want you to come do this, or I want you to come do that, or nah,
You
bro.
continue to say yes.
I think I need to lower the expectations a little bit.
Was it my next question would be, do you see yourself like just moving? Like I know you're elementary. Are you not trying to go any
I plan on doing
higher? Okay, cool. Would you go down?
When I go down to
Yeah,
middle
like
school,
middle school.
yeah,